Oh, what's up, solutionaries? Yeah, we about to get into it. We are definitely about to get into it, solutionaries, right now. Right now. Welcome to the Maj 2 Ray Show. Y'all know the routine. Tap in, tell me where you from, tell me what platform you watching from. Vinzinger already with some comments in the comments section. Shouts to everybody on youtube.com/Maj 2 Ray. Shouts to everybody on the Facebook page. I want y'all to tell me where y'all from in the comment section because we're going to see which one of these platforms we're going to concentrate the most on based on where you guys are coming from and who's engaging the most. So we have a very layered and nuanced show tonight. It's obviously Friday. We are here to make sure we're getting this work going. Guido, YouTube, Connecticut. What's up, Guido? Guido does that properly every single time he pull up. Connecticut, YouTube. Appreciate that. Vinzinger says, so looks like something tells me today is why conservatives suck day. Not just conservatives, libertarians too. And we're going to share a lot of this today, y'all. Again, guys, come in, smash that like button, comment. We got questions today. We want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. It's a lot of y'all that's really, really goofy, real goofballs. And I want the smoke from the goofballs today. I see. What's up? Guys, listen, everybody, make sure that, again, we've been falling on the super chats. Support the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Make sure you in there putting the work in. YouTube, The Pacifist is YouTube, Queens, New York. Jonathan Olivas, New Mexico, ex-libertarian. Appreciate you. We got the smoke today, and I want the smoke for everybody because this Austin Metcalf death has been exposing some of the stupidest people. It's actually not stupid. It's been exposing their hustle, and a lot of them is looking real funny in the light. They're looking like ops. They're looking like paid operatives. I'm sorry, and I don't like throwing labels at people like that. But some of the actions that these people are taking is speaking to they not only want Trump to lose and fail. It's speaking to they don't want Americans unified. It's speaking to they're playing the victim card. But we're gonna go through all of it today. And I got some. I bought what they say, what the young people say. They bought the receipts. Got some receipts that we're going to share on the screen today. Very important. Guys, GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. For those of you that don't know, I am Maj Toure, the founder of BGM, the founder of the Solutionary University. You guys know that the work that we do, if you don't, this basic firearms training across the country and in our community center in Philadelphia. It's also our free to all because of voluntary donations. So we're going to ask everybody to support the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. The administrator for is usually Bookworm. Bookworm will probably be in here shortly and put the post up. But I'm going to give you guys some marching orders. And tonight's conversation is going to be about where we are as solutionaries, where we are as America, and what the marching orders are for engaging these types of fucking morons. So the conversation is going to be twofold tonight. Threefold, actually. One of the points tonight is going to be obviously the surface level thing of the killing of Austin Metcalf that should not have happened. We are going to go over and give you guys some solution-based scenarios and how you could handle these types of things, as well as looking at that from multiple angles. And that's the basis. And we want to get out the way of the fact that this young man should be alive. We're gonna jump out there right there on that and acknowledge that this death should not have happened. We're gonna go over the balanced way of explaining how this should not have happened. Okay, as well as we're gonna go over how both sides could have impacted that scenario and it went the way that it did. And usually when you do that, you get the people that struggle with objectivity. You get the people that struggle with their confirmation bias. You get people that struggle with their bigotry. And we're going to talk about all of that tonight. Damn near all of the pundits on the right have this wrong in their approach. They have this wrong. Nobody on any side is saying that Austin Metcalf should be dead. Nobody. And if you are saying that, you're not in my, feed. But if you are saying that, you're a fucking moron. That's number one. But that's the second thing that we're going to talk about tonight is how most of the pundits on the right, because we're talking about the right, the people that are more right of center are the people that are damn near the last stand for freedom and unification for the world, being the shining light for the world. But the media and the pundits are the people that 1,000% are getting this shit wrong, and I contend that they're getting this shit wrong on purpose because they don't want solutions. And lastly, we're going to talk about the forward movement of the solutionary movement, and this is a great opportunity to have a discussion about why we need to move forward this way. If you're tapping into this show, you're more than likely a solutionary. You're more than likely a little bit more objective. You probably are a little bit more advanced than the person that you may have been when you became out of the leftist. You walked away like Brandon Struck's thing. You walked away from the Democratic Party. You might have went Republican. You might have went Libertarian. You might have went whatever that was. Okay? And whichever way that you went, when you started that, you're more than likely more evolved from that. The evolution of that is being solutionary. And that's who we specifically going to be talking to. And we're going to be making sure that we have our marching orders tonight. Okay? Because I'm just sick of the disgusting nature of how we watching this unfold by people on the right. And I'm going to name all of them. And I got some of them follow me, and I got a little bit of respect for. I saw the Hodge twins do this goofy shit. I obviously saw the usual suspects, the Matt Walshes, the fucking DC Dranos, the goofballs. They're the goofballs. I expected them to do this. But some of these people, I expected Elijah Schaefer. I expected, the girl that's talking about how proud to be white she is every 2 seconds. I expected them to do that. But some of these people I didn't expect, or I wasn't even thinking about. And I'm stepping back and going, these people, they are moving like real oppie outside. They're moving like they have no sense of attempting to unify America as Americans, because every single time that something happens, they run straight to the race card, just like the damn leftists. Every single time. So I am of the belief that we need to expose their contradictions. And that's what tonight's show. We might run a little long. Tonight, solutionaries. What's up, Big Rob? How you? Let's give a little bit more love. If you're just coming in the chat, tell me where you are from in the chat. Okay? We got Bearded Cyclops pulled in from Atlanta. We got Prashant Paul from Greenville, South Carolina. Okay? What's up, Rob? Guido says 90% of the pundits I ignore. Fairburn, Compton. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Nashville. Jason, Nashville. Y'all listen to me. We're going to start at the beginning. The beginning that we're going to start in is this conversation around. If you got some smoke for me, if you one of them people that got some smoke, I want you to put that smoke in the comment section. Don't get blocked, because that's another thing that we're going to discuss tonight. I'm blocking a lot of you motherfuckers. I ain't talking about the solutionaries in the room. I'm talking about the people that have absolutely no interest in constructive dialogue. And as solutionaries, I want everybody to get more of these people on the motherfucking blockchain. We throwing block parties. For every single person that has no real interest, I had to block. I went back. I forgot Jeremy Kaufman was blocked on my old page before I got kicked off of X. I forgot to block him. He back in there talking that stupid shit. I had to block him. We going as solutionaries. We are on our own island, and we are blocking the goofballs that's not challenging each other to move forward. And the reason why this is important tonight is because the people on the right are obviously, and I say right of center, we are obviously. What's up, Michael Cargill? Everybody follow our brother Michael Cargill. Mike down there beating the shit out of Supreme Court, beating the shit out of federal government cases for that bump stock situation, you know what I mean? Buy yourself a gun. Y'all go follow Michael Cargill on X, tapping in. The people that are right of center are not having a balanced perspective of this scenario. They're utilizing this to advance their racist cause. They're race baiting, just like the left. And people that are right of center, we are the last bastion of freedom. But when you start listening to these pundits, when you go from being a Democrat and you're looking for leadership, you're looking for who can I listen to, right? I'll give you a perfect example. Amber Rose, we follow each other on social media. She followed because when she was coming out of that state, she needed to listen to some voices that were more right of center because she evolved from a particular place. But if the pundits who are we supposed to get on these new media, as X says, Twitter says, Elon says, we are the media. And if this media is starting to look like the same thing as the left, but just with different talking points, every time something happens, it runs into the race card and the blacks are the problem. Blacks are inherently violent. Blacks are this. Every single time, they are no better than the left. They are the extreme opposite on the same spectrum of bullshit. And it's our job to call out. And I don't even like using this term of, and I say bigot. I say bigot. I say biased. I say cognitive dissonance because I can't prove the intent. Some of these people, I 100% think they bigots. And there's no way that you put up on a stage or on a chat what some of these people say if you don't have that in your energy. When you inherently say things like, "Oh, blacks are more inherently violent." When you a goofball like Walsh saying these types of things, you lend credence to the thought process that, oh, you must be just bigoted. Okay? People on the right are supposed to be about individual liberty, limited government, and not groupthink, and not this massive level of collectivism. And over this last few days about this situation with Austin Metcalf, and I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear. In no way, shape, or form am I advocating that Austin Metcalf should have his death is justified. I'm not that person. I'm a firearms instructor. I believe in the concept of conflict resolution and de-escalation. But we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to go into the Metcalf situation. And then we're going to look at some of your favorite pundits have been handling this. Bookworm says it's time to unify. It's time to unify. I'm tired of the dumb shit. 1,000%. Tired of the dumb shit. Now, let's read this real quick. Touch me and what happens. And see what happens. New details emerge surrounding Frisco track meet stabbing and arrest affidavit. Okay? Hold on, y'all. I gotta get this. One second, y'all. Okay, here we go. The suspect told the officer who arrested him that the 17-year-old victim put his hands on him and that he admitted that I did it. Okay, now obviously this is Austin Metcalf in the picture here. The suspect accused of fatally stabbing a 17-year-old Frisco high school student at a track meet Wednesday morning reportedly confessed to the incident, claiming he was protecting himself, according to the arrest affidavit. I want to be very, very clear on this, y'all. Affidavit said he was protecting himself. That's what he said. When you get arrested and they take the words of what you said, that's the arresting affidavit. Then a detective comes to talk to you, and that paperwork makes its way to court, the attorneys, and all that other stuff. Okay? So that's the first thing that's tapped down. One witness reportedly told police that the victim, Austin Metcalf, had told the suspect, Carmelo, and he would need to move from under the team's tent, the affidavit stated. Anthony's a student at Centennial High School, but was reportedly sitting under Memorial High School's tent. Now, the question becomes, because some of your favorite pundits going to jump out there and act like that was the start of the aggression. What was the temperature in Frisco that day? Texas get hot as a the devil's crack. Okay? So what was that conversation like? What was the temperature like? And it was a tent. All right, I'm sitting under the tent because maybe it's hot. But okay, cool. Upon telling him this, the witness told police that Anthony opened his bag, then reached inside. Quote, touch me and see what Anthony told Metcalf, according to a witness, which means this already looked like it might have been a little bit aggressive. Now, I want to give y'all a little bit of room for you people that already think that I'm about to try this boy's death. I'm going to stop you in your fucking dumbass tracks. And when I say to you, I'm reading what these affidavits and the witness account says. Okay? Metcalf reportedly then touched Anthony, the witness told the responding officer, and Anthony told Metcalf to punch him and see what happened. Soon afterwards, the witness said Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. So now you've become physical. At which point the affidavit continues, Anthony reportedly, pulled out what the witnesses recalled the black knife and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before running away. Metcalf reportedly started grabbing his chest and telling people to get help, the witness told police. I want to be very, very clear. I think at the start of this conversation, we have to identify where both parties went a little too far, a little too fast. Now, let me start with the deceased, Austin Metcalf, because his start is lower on the continuum of force than Carmelo Anthony. Okay? When you touch someone, that is a form of simple assault. What we teach our students in our classes, do not, what your grandmama told you, what my nana told me, do not put your hands on nobody. Do not put your hands on nobody. I don't. If I put my hands on you, I'm fucking you up because you were attempting to put your hands on me. Okay? When we're teaching classes on understanding imminent threat, on firearm safety, we are major proponents of conflict avoidance, de-escalation, and conflict resolution. So, if I could jump in Austin Metcalf's body in this particular instance, I say don't put your hands on nobody, don't argue about nobody about no damn seat. Same perspective that I have in the movie theater. I'm so respectful to people that if I go into a movie theater and somebody happens to be sitting in my seat or our seats or my family seat, hey, excuse me, brother, my bad. This I think we might have a mix-up. And if they go awesomely aggressive, I go get a goddamn employee. I am not looking for engagement, nor am I looking to put my hands on anybody, because you can fuck around and find out. And you could be right and still be dead. I want everybody to understand that very basic concept. So based on this affidavit and witness accounts, Metcalf put his hands on Anthony. Strike one. Don't do that. Lesson for everyone. Let's read a little bit more. The affidavit shows that another witness interviewed by police told the same story about the altercation occurring at High School. David, the arresting officer, said that when he found 17-year-old Anthony, he reportedly told the officer, I was protecting myself, before the officer had even questioned him about the incident. As the officer was walking Anthony off the track, the suspect reportedly further said that Metcalf had put his hands on him. Put his hands on him. Okay? That does not, in my opinion, justify going lethal. That's my opinion. That's my perspective. Texas law, continuum of force. My opinion may not have nothing to do with their viewpoint of you touch somebody, they get to defend themselves if they were in or feared bodily harm. I don't think that it's that. But that law, the legality of that scenario may be different than my opinion. I am a fan of de-escalating. Okay? So you put your hands on somebody, and if they pull out a gun and fucking kill you, you see what it says right there? You can be right and still be dead. Our job is to make it home to our family. But let's speed up a little bit. Okay? I was protecting myself before the officer had even questioned him about the incident. He said Metcalf put hands on him. Anthony was then handcuffed. The affidavit reads, after another officer arrived, the arresting officer advised that he had the alleged suspect, to which Anthony reported said, quote, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Kids, boys and girls, this is the reason why we don't fucking say anything. Okay? But anyway, the officer also noted fresh blood on Anthony's left middle finger while he was in the back seat of the vehicle to report detail. The document states that Anthony also reportedly asked the officer if Metcalf was going to be okay while he was in the back seat of the vehicle. While being escorted to the squad car, Anthony asked an officer if his actions could be considered self-defense. According to the affidavit, the knife Anthony allegedly stabbed Metcalf with was later found in the bleachers at the track. Anthony had reportedly thrown it there following the stabbing. Anthony is being held in a Colon County jail where his bond amount has been set to $1 million. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. This was an exacerbated scenario that both parties had a role in. And I don't want y'all to jump out there and be stupid. When you say somebody has a role, that does not mean that what happened to them is justified. When you say that somebody has a role, you had a role. What role did you play in this? That doesn't justify your death or getting smacked or smacking somebody else. Okay? It's not what it means, but it means you had a role in it. Bookworm says, put hands on him means what? Nobody knows. All of this is speculation in the internet. Hold on. Why the fuck is this not? And the internet running with narratives like the dad said. I agree. Put hands on. I've heard different stories. I've heard one story that said the brother and the twin brother started attacking him. Okay? I've heard stories that said, oh, it wasn't about that. They jumped him. I got photos from people on the internet, not fucking corroborated and confirmed in court. I got stories and photos right here. Harvey Levin and Scum sending messages. They aren't lying. My sister was at the meet and in the same grade as Austin. I went to school there as well as the family is racist. Austin is a bully and always uses the N-word. He was the aggressor there. Yes, Austin is the bully who used the N-word often. He probably learned from his mom. That is all floating around the internet. Somebody said they had beef a week prior. And that's the problem with the internet. What we do know is, based on eyewitness accounts and based on initial affidavits, that Metcalf put his hands on this young man and it was fucked up. And it was a role that he played in escalating a situation that only led to his death. And there's context that we listen. If somebody had beef a week prior to, maybe he had the knife because he was getting bullied, whatever, before. I've seen people that are staunch advocates of being armed to defend yourself from personal protection turn around and say, why did this 17-year-old have a knife? As if Kyle Rittenhouse didn't have a rifle, 17 years old, getting busy when he was trying to defend his community for protection. The same reason why I carry a firearm. But we watching these people abandon their principles in the moment because they suffer from an inability to give a nuanced, objective, and well thought out perspective around this issue. Why? Because most of the pundits on the right are either tap dancing for their low IQ base or they are looking for acceptance into a low IQ base. I gotta say this because this is what the GOP pundits is saying. This is media spinning a narrative, and that's not what you need as an American. You need a balanced take. Some people are not gonna like the fact that I'm gonna acknowledge that based on eyewitness testimony and original affidavits, several people have said Metcalf put his hands on the student. Some people are not gonna like that. There's a group of people that's not gonna like the fact that I'm gonna say that does not justify to me, my personal view as an instructor, that does not justify for me. I would not advocate that you get a knife and stab people. But what if the conversation is both of the brothers jumped on him because they are bullies? Then that changes the perspective a bit for me. Okay? But the reality is what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do y'all a disservice like the vast majority of your pundits that rushed to the goddamn race card. I'm not going to do that to y'all, sowing more division just like a goddamn unhinged leftist. And that's what a lot of your pundits are doing. Tell me where I'm wrong in the chat. If you're just tapping in, it's 440 people in here right now. Comment. Let me know where you're from. Put it in the comment section. Tell me. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what platform you're watching on, and tell me your perspective. And I'll be goddamn if you jump out there and play yourself and act like I'm not going to give you. We preaching tonight. We preaching tonight because this is more in a part of, in alignment with, this ain't just about what happened here with these young men. This young man will be charged. He has been charged. He's held on bail. $1 million bail, which means he got to put up 10%, $100,000. Mama gonna have to put up the crib. Daddy gonna have to put up the crib. The illest producers, Chicago, YouTube. Appreciate you, brother. Guys, listen, support the work. If you're getting some value and some talking points, I'm gonna give y'all the blueprint tonight. I'm gonna give y'all the blueprint tonight. These other people, they ain't trapped in the RV fundraising to get this work done. They ain't serving the community. They saying the thing that's gonna get the clicks and the likes. They gonna extract from you. I want to pour into you. So please support the work. Okay? I'm trying to tell y'all the balance of the situation is balanced, and them pundits is gonna lie to you. They are rushing to these statements like black people are inherently violent. I watched Jason Whitlock, who's a homie, get up there and say it's an attack on white people. That sounds just like the goddamn leftists that use race-based situations to justify them rushing right to the race car. All of the black people, victim mentality, rushing to, oh, blacks are white supremacy. I'm under attack by the white supremacy. The blacks are under attack. I'm watching y'all do the same exact dumb shit. And I gotta be the goddamn voice of reason in the right of center space to tell you, do not fall for that shit. Because they never boots on the ground doing no work in the communities that they creating. They hiding behind these microphones, hiding behind they curated television set. They don't got a gun store like Michael Cargill in Texas. They didn't fight against the federal government like Michael Cargill did. They talk behind their microphones. And the reason why we got to call that as right of center is because the people on the right, the people on the left are all the way gone. They might wake up. But if you're waking up out of that and you listening to these pundits who are loud and have big platforms, and you start following that thing, you do more damage to the unification and evolution of America's getting out of the leftist so-called plantation. Because now you're repeating talking points, and then when black folks that want to go Republican, want to go independent, want to go libertarian, because I'm going to throw the libertarians in there too. When they want to escape from that, they go, these people sound like fucking morons and racists and bigots. And they do. And I contend that many of your favorite pundits on the right have that do no motherfucking work in these communities to unify America, to defend the Second Amendment. They make money by standing there and generating the clicks and the likes and all of that by capitulating and pandering to the lowest IQ, bigoted portions of their base. And this is dangerous for us. Because now, when you speak out against it, they go and go, oh, you're race baiting. It's just, oh, you're just trying to defend the blacks. No, it's about defending balance and objectivity. I'm not going to, these are the same people that abandoned the Ben Shapiro's of the world. Just put on the fucking mask. Cat turds and DC Dranos. Just take the vaccine. Fuck your Fourth Amendment. Fuck your right to privacy. When convenient, these contradictory fucks with a big budget will steer the vast majority of Americans into fucking helter-skelter, a race war. That's what but they don't got no skin in the game. They like politicians that will send your children into a fucking fight and, oh, we gotta go fight. Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania, signing missiles. They will send your children to a war that they have no skin in the fight on. And I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I'm saying this, and I'm so confident in saying this. Why am I so confident in saying this? Because even the person that was one of the people that has been the most impacted by this, Austin Metcalf's father jumped out there and said, "This ain't about race, and please stop making it about it." Let's roll the motherfucking tape right now. Let's play it. Hold on, I can't hear that. Y'all can hear that? I'm gonna run it back. Y'all can hear that volume? Let me make sure, because I want everything to be heard. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear this volume on this video that I just played. Because there's something going on with my comments. Let me make sure. Let's play it again. I want to be very clear. This is what a father says in a moment of something like this. A father says, "I've watched this narrative. I've saw people try to pretend and make this something that it's not, and you weren't there." Demi Dixon, 34. Thank you for that. $5 super chat. I'm all over the place today. I don't know what the hell is going on. Let me make sure I'm on point. Anyway, this father just said, "Y'all pundits are jumping out there saying all types of shit, saying this is about race. I don't want this to go to a racial place." And what do those people do? What's the very first thing that they do? Go right to a racial place. Because they're not taking the factor of the father. The father, who is more impacted by this than any of these so-called pundits. More impacted by that than anybody. But he says, "No, it wasn't racist. Y'all wasn't there. I was there. I was there. Or my son was there." What the hell is going on? 1 second, y'all. One second. The father says, "My sons were there. Since my sons were there, he knows a little bit more because him and his sons can have his son can have now I gotta say son can have this conversation." They have that conversation, and the son says, "Nah." The dad says, "Nah, we good. This ain't a racist thing." All of these pundits that don't got no skin in the game have taken no loss. They jump up there, and the first thing that they go through is the racist conversation. Oh man, and it's super wonderful. It's interesting to watch. All of these people, first thing that we see, very first thing that we see. Somebody says turn it up. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna make sure this is going on right. Hold on. Let's get this right. Hey, y'all can hear me? Feed me some information in the chat. Let me know what's going on. All right, everybody can hear me. All right, I'm good. All right, y'all can hear me. Let me jump back to this real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. I don't know what just happened right here. Here we go. Here we go. So right after the dad says, please do not make this about race. Right after dad says, please don't make this about race, guys. Don't make this about race. Please don't. Okay, we're not going to make it about race. That's not what happens. Goofball number one, Matt Walsh. If I told you that a young man stabbed another young man to death for telling him that he was in the wrong seat, and then I told you that one young man in this altercation was white and the other black, and then I asked you to guess the race of the assailant, every single person would know the answer immediately. Young black males are violent to a wildly, outrageously disproportionate degree. That's just a fact. We all know it. And it's time that we speak honestly about it or nothing will ever change. 13.4 million views. The algorithms are incentivizing race hate. These people know that. They are the same people that say we're all Americans, we shouldn't do hyphens, we shouldn't yada, yada, yada. They say all of that. And then as soon as the opportunity presents itself for them to be bigots, that's what they rush to. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. Immediately, as soon as a father opens his mouth and says, I'm hearing to talk. I'm hearing to talk. Please, this ain't about that. My son, who's still alive, who held his brother as he died, was there. It ain't had nothing to do with race. Maybe the father knows these guys had issues way back in the day. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. A week ago. Those rumor mills, there's something to be ascertained and pulled from that. But instead of them respecting the father's perspective, they rush right to the race bait. 13.4 million views. What does X do, guys? What does X do? X monetizes for views. You get ad revenue. They don't care about America. They don't care about the unification. They got the same collectivist hive mind as the so-called woke left. They the so-called woke right. This father jumped out and said, do not take this to a place of race. Y'all don't know. Y'all might have not heard it because I don't know if the audio played on the X. But what the father basically said was, hey, I understand. I hear the talk. Please, guys, do not make this about race. Don't make this about race. Please, guys, don't do it. Because y'all weren't there. You wasn't there. None of us were there. Bookworm, none of us were there. Imagine thinking you have more info than the father. The audacity of them. That's what these people are. That's what many of our pundits on the right are. They know that the back and forth engagement, even if I say something about it, and the vast majority of X is bots. Is bots. So they know they're going to get the engagement. Never mind the fact that now you're putting things into people's mind, making Americans hate other Americans over isolated incidents and making it about race, even when the father said don't do it. That's what our pundits on the right are doing. And I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about you, the Hodge twins. I'm talking about you, insert all of them. And again, I have respect for some of these guys on a lot of different levels, but you got this shit wrong and y'all keep handling this way, and it's fucking wrong. You're doing exactly what the left is doing. The fact that you got on there and posted that and made this about racial is disrespectful to the family and the father. As much as we talk about respecting fathers, as much as we do that and we say that, this father is dealing with, and in my opinion, holding it together masterfully. He's holding it together and asking people, please, guys, don't make it about that. I've seen certain people in my own social media comments as I've been breaking this down. I've seen people say, hey, regardless of anything else, let's at least get behind supporting the GoFundMe page that's been set aside for the Metcalf family. Okay? I started saying that, and people in my comment section said, I'm not going to respect that. I'm not going to support that family because the dad got on Twitter and said, oh, let's not make this about race. So because he's saying, let's not make it about race, Now all of a sudden you can't support them in their financial time of need because they're gonna have to. This is their child has been taken, but you won't do that because they didn't get on there and say what you think they should say. Oh, all of these blacks. This was about race because they won't feed into the bigotry. Now all of a sudden they're not valid enough to support them financially in this grieving time of grief. This is where we are. This is where we are. And it's not just them. It's not just him. No, it's not just him. It's a bunch of these clowns. It's a whole bunch of these clowns. And come on, y'all. I'm going to try to see if I can get this audio to happen.
Near black people. It just would. And that's not to say that every get carjacked when you're worried about catching a stray bullet. And I will tell you this.
This is another goofball. And these contradictions are back to back. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear the comment section. I mean the audio. I'm pretty sure I fixed it, but let me know. Okay? Let me say this to y'all. This is Nick Fuentes. Now talking about, oh, I'm not going to be around, but this is the same bullshit that the creator of Dilbert said after another thing happened, and it was like a black and white situation. The creator of Dilbert was like, I'm not going to help with the blacks. First of all, the blacks in general didn't fucking ask you, Dilbert creator. But I guess everybody conveniently forgot about that. My point in saying this is, on one hand, we keep saying we all American, we got issues, we trying to fight through these issues, but as soon as that shit shows up, they run right to the goddamn race card like they left us. The collectivist hive mind that they say the woke virus. But let's listen. Let's listen to this fucking goofball Fuentes. Let's listen to what he got to say. Let's play it.
As plainly as possible, I don't want to live around black people. I just don't. It would be irresponsible if I had a wife and kids to live near black people. It just would be. And that's not to say that every black person is violent. It's not to say that every black person is the same way. But we watch the news. We read the papers. When you drive downtown in Chicago,
we watch the news, we read the papers. Oh, so now the media is fine. Now the media is not the most effective devil in America. Now legacy media is telling us 100% the truth. Now it's all truth time. We watch the news. When it's reporting on Trump and his bullshit, or when somebody brings up the Jews, it's true. But when now on set, they pick and choose. These people are 1000% fucking walking contradictions. And it's so obvious at this point. It's so obvious. Now we listen to the news, and the same news that told us that black fathers are not involved, but then when the CDC does a study on it, they say black men are actually some of the most involved. They may not be married. These people, these pundits that we are highlighting and promoting are walking fucking contradictions. This is the same Nick Fuentes that dick rides Kanye West, the black man, whenever he gets a goddamn chance to be opportune. Oh, not all of them, but just some of them. I wouldn't want to live around the blacks. The same thing that when the white people say it, white liberals, or when blacks on the extreme left say it, we call them to task. But now,
you know who you got to look out for and worry about when you're thinking about whether you're going to get carjacked, when you're worried about catching a stray bullet, when you're worried about who's going to pull up on the side of the road and literally shove a rifle in your face and steal your iPhone or shoot you point blank, execution style in Lincoln Park. We know who's doing it.
Who is doing the mass shootings? If we're going to keep this energy, I want to be very clear. We're going to be very clear about it. Who's doing the mass shootings? White males. Now this where my per capita folks gonna tap in. This where the we was Vikings. You the 13%. This where y'all time to shine is. Okay? This where y'all time to shine is. Most convicted pedophiles in America are white males. Most mass shooters in America are white males. Does that mean that I'm fucking retarded enough to think that I should be looking out for all white males because they might try to rape? Where is there a culture of pedophilia specifically for whites? I would sound just as fucking dumb if I said that. But you know why? I don't. Because I've actually traveled around the country. I've actually engaged and saw every community got the same problem to differing degrees. I actually want to isolate the individuals or groups of small people that do the crime and understand that they're not indicative of the whole general makeup. That's why even in this stupid ass video right here, Fuentes got to go, oh, I'm not saying it's all, but you low key saying it's the majority. So if we going on the crime statistics, right? White people are 5 times more than likely to get killed by other white people than any other fucking group. Crime is proximity, but they want to tie it into the per capita and whatever bullshit conversation they want to have moment to moment. But primarily when it's time to attack black people, they want to throw that consistency right out the window. The real pandemic is intellectual inconsistency. And I got more of them. I'm going to show y'all some more of them. All of these people got these intellectual inconsistencies when it comes to fucking issues around race. Just like them black people that say, we under attack, not by the state, because everybody's under attack by the state, the government. Taxes, masculinity, femininity. Oh, we all getting in that boat. Get right on in that boxcar. But somehow when black people say it and the left, they say it, it's bullshit. But when they say it, oh, there's an attack on white males. This is an indicative of it. They run to the same victim mindset that they say that the left does. And they are actually getting more obnoxious and boisterous in the victim mentality. Let's play a little bit more.
I don't want to live near them. I don't want to be near them. They make me nervous. That's a survival instinct. And the way this story unfolded, it's sort of interesting. Apparently, this white student, this Austin Metcalf, confronted a friend of the killer, presumably black also, and said something like, hey, you're sitting in the wrong spot. You're in my spot, something like this. And that's when the black guy jumped in and stabbed him to death.
This is inconsistent, and this is what they do all of the time. They leave out certain comments and leave out certain commentary and context. That is inconsistent with the initial reports, police reports, and eyewitness testimony. Hit me, touch me, which I do not think that Carmelo Anthony should have said. And then what does Metcalf and potentially his brother do? Hit him and touch him. But they're going to leave that part of the conversation out to make it look like a helter-skelter divide while still. Now, I don't know if this kid is, what's his name? Fuentes. I don't know if this motherfucker has ever advocated for we're all Americans, so I don't give a fuck. He's kind of like a shit stain that I don't even really like take serious. I don't take none of these people fucking serious. They don't do any work. They sit in front of microphones all day. I don't know what any work that they've actually done. They contradict themselves. So I'm not more specifically talking about him. All right? Cargill says, ask Fuentes, why did he move from his house? Why did he move from his house? Was it the blacks? Were the blacks showing up en masse and threatening him? Was it the blacks? So their contradictions are, these are the most, the pundits. The pundits are the most a la carte, consistency, standard having motherfuckers I ever heard in my life. They just pick and choose when they want to. It's like the fucking Republicans picking and choosing when they want to respect the Second Amendment. Picking and choosing. Oh, we can respect the Constitution, but not now. Ben Shapiro, oh, just wear a mask. What if I don't want to? There's nothing in the founding documents that said, hey guys, if we have a Spanish flu, this whole Constitution and Bill of Rights thing goes out of the window. It's not what the fuck happened. It's not. Let's play it a little bit more, then let's move to the next goofball. Let's move to the next goofball.
Unfortunately, we just don't know. When you're on the subway, when you're driving in your car, when you're in the city streets, you don't know whether the black person in proximity to you is one of the good ones or one of the ones who is going to summon an unbelievable, I mean, literally, for people like us, an unthinkable level of spontaneous brutality, senseless and merciless violence in an instant. We don't know. There's ambiguity. You're sitting on a subway. You look across. You see someone acting strange or aggressive. Is this someone who is going to pull out a knife and in 2 seconds slit my throat and kill me? Or is this just someone who's having a bad day? We don't know.
I want to make that same argument based on the data. I don't know. I'm outside with my daughters. I want y'all to see how stupid this shit sounds. And if you're in here as a solutionary, you understand. Some of y'all gonna fall by the wayside. Some of y'all are white and or black, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want you to be in my fucking following. If you think that this type of talk about Americans is cool and it's not something that could be said across the board, you're not a solutionary. You might as well just go be an extreme right-wing person or go be an extreme leftist. Just go over there. We not for you. I don't want to engage you motherfuckers. I'm going to start blocking y'all. I'm not going back and forth with y'all. I don't even want none of the Elon bucks that would come from engaging with you. I want to save America. I want to build more people that are in alignment with the same shit that he's saying right here, right? Let me blow y'all mind real quick. Again, the vast majority of convicted pedophiles in America are white males. That is a fact. Imagine if I got on here and said, when I'm out, and if I just happen to want to take my daughter, she wants to take the train, and we don't drive down to the Phillies game or the Sixers game or the Eagles or Flyers game. I just don't know if across from me, when all of those whites get together, going down to South Philly, down to the stadium, I don't know which one. I don't feel comfortable having my daughter around that because I don't know which one of them will, start a mass shooting or try to sexually assault my daughter because da-da-da. Imagine if I said that fucking retarded shit. But somehow we give this a pass. Somehow we don't call it contradiction because they're on the right. I just don't know. It could be a mass shooting at the stadium because, there's a lot of whites that have a lot of psychological problems, and the vast majority of mass shootings happen to be the whites. Okay? Imagine if I said that. Imagine how stupid it is. Fuentes' last name is Fuentes. It means fresh because he's Mexican. He's Mexican. Like, remember that VJ, Daisy Fuentes from MTV? Her name literally translates into Daisy Fresh. His last name is, boy, you green, fucking wet behind the ears, breath still got Similac on it, don't know what the fuck you talking about. When it's time to attack people, he's great at it. Oh, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. The Jews, the Jews. Okay, you can give a breakdown of all of the fucking Israel, Palestine, Middle Eastern conflict because it's about blaming somebody. What have our pundits, and I say what are our pundits doing to actually help America? Somebody tell me in the comment. Let me look. Dre with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. $5 crispy dollars to get Maj out the damn. Guys, we fundraising to buy the building. I'm in the RV. Been here. It's been the 45th day. We halfway through. I thought we was going to fundraise and get me out of here before that. Right? But thank you for that, guys. Please support the work. GiveSingo.com/solutionary or a super chat. But my question to you all is, what have these pundits actually done? The people that's talking about violence, what organizations in their own cities or states have they gotten behind that would help with conflict resolution and de-escalation? My bad. I said Mexican. I meant Spanish. Excuse me. On Fuentes. Right? Michael Storman. There are good and bad people in every race. Why do we allow our pundits on the right, especially when it comes to black people, right? Why do we just allow that? Why don't we call that out? And the Hodge twins hide behind it. Okay. Here's my argument. The Hodge twins talking about. I watched Jesse Lee Peterson said the same stupid shit. The same type of stupid fucking shit. Where is it at? Let me find it real quick. I don't know where I put it. I ain't even going. Let me pull this up. Here's another one, y'all. Here's another one. Here's another one. This is a picture, okay? And in this picture, we have what is appeared to look like social media posts in the last few days from Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, right? One of the pictures that they use their media skillfully, right? One of the pictures that they put up there is that one. And it makes and it's, again, this is not me saying that we should be trying to figure out ways to make Metcalf look like a bad kid. It's not what I'm saying. But we are saying, look at how they play this. Look at how they play this. They picture this picture right here, right? And it looks like, oh, Cyclops with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Right? They package that as if he was just with the gun and with the gang shit. These are the same people that talk about the Second Amendment. These are the same people that rightfully so got behind Kyle Rittenhouse when Kyle Rittenhouse said, yo, I'm going to carry a gun at 17. Now all of a sudden they packaging this kid. Not only are they packaging this kid wrong, right? And they saying, oh, look, he's got a gun. Just a second ago, they was talking about the Second Amendment absolutists. Not only that, few days prior, Metcalf was hunting with his dad in this video. I'm going to pull that video up too. Hunting with his dad with an AR, but they didn't mention that. And this picture with Anthony, Carmelo Anthony, with this picture, they cropped the damn picture out. The picture got another black kid in it and two other white kids in it. They cropped that out to fit their narrative. We doing this. We are allowing these pundits on the left to do the same goofy shit. Excuse me, our pundits on the right to do the same goofy shit that the pundits on the left are doing, and we not calling it out. I see that the Hodge twins hiding there. They get to split it because, you know, they mix, they mulattoes, they mutts, right? They get to split sometimes. Oh, well, it's cool. Same shit. What's his name? Andrew Tate do. They actually are playing to you. For my white followers, they think you that stupid because they think that they can just pander to you in race-based terms as if you're not trying to actually improve America. They pick and choose when it's time to actually be black or be white and play one end against the middle for their clicks, engagement, and revenue generation. And we need to speak up about that. They're using a media, most effective devil in America. That said it. We are the media now. And we allowing these pundits on the right to not promote and push an agenda of unity, togetherness, and solving these problems. Okay? Crime is going down nationwide, and it has been on a downward spiral since the 90s. That is not me saying this. This is the facts of the matter. John Lott wrote a book on it, More Guns, Less Crime. Okay? This ain't me just saying shit. It's going down. Let's read it. More black men are becoming conservative. People came out overwhelmingly to vote against the radical left. This is the best time to actually unite the nation. But the grifters are tapping in to create the division and the split. Trump got a massive, even more black vote than he did his first go round or his second go round. These guys are going out of their way to 1000% damage any of the progress that Trump made as it relates to the GOP and the punditry. For their own individual gain, they will destroy the work that Trump has made in inroads in black and brown Latino communities because they want to do the helter-skelter race bait shit. Trump not going to be in office. He can't be in office anymore. They're going out of their way to destroy the good charity of more black people going, I think I'm rocking with this Trump shit. Trump went into the White House and said, African Americans built this nation. We all built it. But you guys had such a massive hand on that. They want to act like that was okay when convenient, but then their actions on the pundit side of the game does the exact opposite to make sure that they are destroying any unity in America. Tell me in the comment section where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. And this is the reason why the Maj Toure show, I got to step my game up, get more. I'm working on the production, y'all. I'm fundraising. Guys, support the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Bookworm, throw it in the chat so I can put it on there, right? We $3,000 away from our next benchmark. Then we got one benchmark left. I could buy the building, and then I'm focusing on the show. Because we need more respectful, balanced, objective conversations as it relates to this. Everything ain't the Jews. But the Israeli government has a hand, a death grip on the United States government. That's a balanced and fair and objective take. Everything ain't white supremacy. But there are certain systemic things that 1000% were put in position to attack black people's rights. Gun control, anyone? Okay? I'm telling y'all this because if we are not highlighting and championing the pundits or the political commentators that are having a balanced effect, we are losing ground. These people don't care. They would watch America burn. They don't fight. They don't do any work. They don't do any work. They don't help in the community. Matt Walsh puts on a flannel, grows out a beard, and talks shit from a television set. The whole Daily Wire staff, including Candace when she was on there, came up on division between black and white people. We have to be honest about that. The Hodge twins and this take on this is the same shit. Two things can be true at once. Metcalf shouldn't have put his hands on that kid. Five things can be true at once. Metcalf and potentially his brother should not have put their hands on that fucking kid, Anthony. Anthony should not have stabbed him in relation to that. But we don't get, when people are dealing with real fucking life, everybody doesn't share your ethos. I don't put my hands on people in movie theaters when I think they're sitting in my seat because they don't have their view of me checking them aggressively or even speaking to them aggressively. They may not respond the way that I fucking think that they should. If I put my hands on somebody and they pull out a gun and shoot me in a stand your ground state, I'm still dead. I don't think it should go that way, but that's what happens. They're not going to be objective about this conversation because too much of that grift is backed in the continuation of the racial division. A nuanced conversation needs to happen. That's why I keep telling y'all, I want to work for y'all and be the voice of reason all the time. Because both sides are liars. They saying what's necessary in the moment. I know the gun range that DJ Envy and Charlemagne go to. They go to Anthony Calandro's range right outside of Manhattan. It's called Gun for Hire. But then they'll get on television and talk this anti-gun shit when they gun owners. I look at these pundits on the right similar. Y'all know that America needs unity. Y'all know that the biggest problem is overreaching government and crazy fucking spending. Y'all know that the race griffin, they say it. Oh, they make everything about race when they're talking about the left. As soon as something racial happens, they do the same thing. They are walking fucking contradictions. We are bringing common sense back to the game. I got to hurry up and buy this building because then all I could do is just make content and chop this shit up and tell y'all what's going on. Do not be offended or upset or mad that some of your following is not going to be as objective. They don't want to be objective. The pundits don't want to be objective. And my position is that's more dangerous than the extreme lefty. Because an extreme lefty, in my experience, is ignorant. They uneducated. They think that the Democrat Party was actually there. They think government is good for them. They dumb. These people on the right are aware and they know it. They know it. And they pretending like they're conservative while really being authoritarian. These people are advocating that an entire population of people are all one monolithic group. But then, when a black conservative speaks up in a language that they agree with, they then say, all black people, you guys said you wanted diversity. That black Republican or that black conservative is the diversity. You don't really want diversity. So they understand it. They understand it thoroughly. They just pick and choose when they can pander to their low IQ bigoted base when it comes to race as it relates to black people. Somebody tell me where I'm fucking wrong in the chat. And this is dangerous. It's dangerous not because I want them to not be able to say their free speech. No. I don't want them to not be able to speak about it. I love when the bigots and the pundits come from behind concealment and cover. I love it. I can stitch you right on up when you come from behind concealment and cover. When I can see you and you can't block the rounds, the 223 I'm going to send at you. Oh, yeah. Come on all the way out from concealment and cover. So it's not about me not wanting them to speak on the issues. What's dangerous is us not calling out their contradiction. What's dangerous is when a minority are speaking as if they speak for the majority. And they don't. I heard somebody else say on my platform, they said, this was Jesse Lee Peterson, actually. And I don't have that one pulled up. But Jesse Lee Peterson said some stupid shit like, oh, white people in America, you should understand that black people will never trust you. They will never like you. They are consistently thinking about harming you. This is what Jesse Lee Peterson posted. And I said, that's stupid. Most white people ain't thinking about black people, and most black people ain't thinking about white people. They thinking about this fucked up economy, the price of eggs, putting gas in a fucking car, going to work, and having a little bit of peace for themselves. That's most actual Americans. Do you know how I know that? Because I've been across America serving Americans for the last 8 fucking years. That's how I know that. Most Americans are not trying to fucking like figure out a way to be like, yeah, let's figure out how to oppress the blacks. Let's figure out how to oppress and attack the whites. It's not true. It's not fucking true. You let these pundits say this shit, and then people go, the fear factor, and they go, wait, it's the same as when COVID happened. Remember how the media told you that all of the hospitals were fucking, so many bodies is packed, is that? And then some of us drove to those hospitals and went, that's not what the fuck is happening. The doctors and the nurses, or the nurses at least, was in there making TikTok videos. Remember that? But the media told you that it was a severe winter of death. That's what they doing, just like the Biden administration. They telling you that blacks hate whites and whites hate blacks, and the white people on the right, the whites are under attack, all because they are authoritarians that meat gobble the state, and they want more power in the hands of the state. So these are the same people that want to try to bring slavery back. That's that mentality. I'm telling y'all, when you start looking at the whole America, when you look at America, when you go outside, man, my white fucking followers, bro, hear me. My white motherfucking followers are like, Maj, whatever you, man, listen, it might be, I ain't asking y'all to say it, but it might be some of them in this actual live right now. My white followers, shit. My white followers are killer ghosts for me, and they know I'm black, so I address black issues. They don't feel, me being objective, they don't feel like I'm race baiting. Tell me in the comment section. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. If you happen to be white or black, do you feel like when you come to my page, or when I'm breaking things down objectively, fair and balanced. Do you think that I'm just giving the black people an extra hand? Or do you think I'm giving the white people an extra hand? No. Am I? Now, if you think so, please comment in the comment section. But in my lived experience, what I do is situation by situation, I evaluate things and call it up the middle objectively, moment to moment. Okay? Tell me. Tell me. Access says, it's not me making it. I want y'all to call me out if I'm lying. Access says, not at all. If you did, I wouldn't watch. Base Capone says, very objective. Ryan Jackson says, no, sir, not at all. I'm telling y'all, Carmelo Anthony should have not stabbed that young man. That sequence of events does not happen. If I could jump in each one of their bodies, man, I swear, if I could have jumped in Trayvon Martin's body, I would have told him to run. Do not confront George Zimmerman. If I could have jumped in George Zimmerman's body, I would have said, yo, man, the fucking dispatch told you do not follow and pursue that kid. If I could have jumped in goddamn Metcalf's body, Austin Metcalf, I would have been like, yo, you ain't got to argue with him about that shit. Let that shit go. If I could have jumped in the other kid's body, Anthony, I could have said, bro, you don't got to stab him. This they tent. That's the culture in Texas, whatever. The real solution here is that each side is not really dealing with is all of the young men. America has a violence problem. We got horrible food. We got screens. We got extreme levels of imbalanced dopamine hits. We got a Food and Drug Administration that's putting all types of bullshit in our food. We got no real fucking logic being presented to these young people. We got just as equally as somebody could be scared and stab somebody, somebody could be confident and bully somebody. Both of those gentlemen don't understand impulse control, self-defense, self-control, conflict resolution, and de-escalation. All of the young men need to be taught that. Of any racial background. But nobody wants to say that on the influencer tip because they got a fucking grift. They got a fucking grift. Their whole grift is, it's them. The whites are saying it's the blacks, pundit-wise. The blacks are saying it's the whites. Everybody occasionally comes together and says, oh, now the Mexicans are the problem. Now right-wing pundits, black, white, whatever, now, oh, it's automatically the Jews. Nobody wants to actually be accountable and say, we as America have a problem. Where did these things come from? Because when you say, oh, even the left, they just left us because they black. Okay, but the vast majority of fucking black people were very conservative until the 60s. What happened? Welfare, social programs, overreaching government into the communities. You can't say that doesn't have a cause and effect, but you don't want to look at that part. You just want to blame the black people because it's the lowest hanging fruit. The same as me going, a motherfucker say, oh, that white boy racist. That's the reason why. Is he racist or is he just a dickhead that's equal opportunity, don't like none of you motherfuckers? When I say our land, I want to be away from everybody because I don't like no stupid person on any cultural or racial background. I want to just be with me, my lady, the babies, growing some food and shooting guns. I don't like none of you motherfuckers. That's where my mind go. I love all of y'all and your great habits, and I hate every single one of you and your bad habits. And that's across the board. That's patriot shit. That's the reality. Real patriots, like Rob just said, real patriots get it. But see, these people is cosplaying as patriots because they got their curated movie TV set. They got the look. Matt Walsh got the beard and the flannel. Bro, that's a fucking costume. That's the same as every motherfucker I look at when I'm in Portland. Leftist ass Portland. Flannel, beard, maybe a turned up mustache, operating as a barista. That's a costume. What community work do you do? What area are you working to solve this issue? Same as the libertarians. I seen motherfucking one of them. I had to reblock him today. Jeremy Kaufman. I had blocked him on the old page. I forgot. He jumped out there. Yeah, it's the blacks are the violent problem. Immediately blocked. And this is the wrapping it up, guys. This is what I'm telling y'all to do. This is what I'm telling y'all to do right now. If you're watching this and if you're agreeing with what I'm saying, you a solutionary. They want to be Daddy Flannel. They don't even shoot. They want to be Garand Thumb. They want to be Daddy Flannel, but don't even shoot. I ain't never seen these men do it. I ain't never see them fix shit with their hands. I ain't never see them fight. I ain't never see them in the gym. I don't ever see them read serious stoic books. I don't see them do any actual work in the community, but they get behind these microphones with these costumes. Okay? That's what I see. But I seen it. I seen it with Kaufman. I seen fuck all of these people. They benefit. They algorithms get boosted because of the engagement. And if you're a solutionary and you agree with me, you the tribe. If you a motherfucker that think that when somebody says, well, blacks are inherently violent, and then when I pull up the rape stats, so pedophilia, so are we saying if you can't keep that same energy, if you go, well, everybody should watch out for white men and pedophiles because they're the most convicted pedophiles, or you gonna rush to the per capita conversation? Because that's what they do, right? If you're a person that sees, no, there's sexual misconduct in the black community too. There's violence in the white community too. If you're willing to look at this as an American issue and apply solutions, you my tribe. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to block all of the motherfuckers. We want singular focus. After this show tonight, I'm not engaging no more motherfuckers. At all. At all. I'm gonna go to that one next. Yeah, Whitlock is way the hell off on this incident. Him too. But listen to what Game Too Easy said. No, but for real though, can someone explain why folks are mad that the dad did not want to bring race into it? And we're gonna play that. That's that video right there. Okay? But this is what I want y'all to do before we play that video and start getting the wrap up. Okay? Listen to me. This is what I'm going to do. And I would suggest you do the same. As solutionaries, we have a singular focus on solutions. We can recognize other people's limitations and where the weaknesses are. And if we can identify that this is a problem, violence is a problem in many cities. And that ain't because it's just black people there. There's no Second Amendment respect. There's no training around firearms. An armed society is a polite society. So when you have an area where it's the same 1,000 bad guys with guns doing the wrong thing, that gives a bad name to all of the other hardworking Americans of any background in that town. And then we need to stop engaging the people that's acting like, see, it's just blacks in general. I'm blocking all of them and I'm not engaging them. We have a singular focus as solutionaries, and that is the solution. I want you to unsubscribe and unfollow all of these fucking goofballs. And I do not want you to engage on their pages. I want you to use your platform, recognize what they're saying is wrong, and then highlight what's wrong and apply the solution on your own platforms and tag me so I can repost you. We done with giving goofball. The definition of limited government conservative is being warped by our own punditry. We have to stop giving them any type of energy. Daily Wire is about to go bankrupt. People not feeling that shit. There's a reason why Trump, who has dated black women, who has said African Americans built this country, that during the 80s helped so many black people with his resources. There's a reason why he's made serious impact in the black community voting, and the GOP has not, and the pundits have not. There's a reason for that. It's the approach. So our approach is we only engage in and highlight. I'm blocking all of these goofy motherfuckers. If they don't, especially if they don't follow me and we can't have a respectable dialogue. I done blocked Jeremy Kaufman. I done blocked Charlie Kirk. I done blocked Matt Walsh. I done blocked all of these motherfuckers. I don't care. They're not worth looking like they represent us as higher evolved thinkers that are right of center. They do not speak for us. And you have to make sure that you're creating a clear distinction between yourself as right of center, because a beginner doesn't know that. I remember when the Ahmaud Arbery shit happened and Brandon Tatum said that he deserved it. And they never corrected. When more and more of the story came out and the father-son tandem that killed Ahmaud Arbery chased and followed him. When more of that story came out, none of these pundits doubled down and went, I was wrong about this. Let me tell y'all where I was wrong a little bit here in the last week. The McDonald's situation with a 24-year-old. Come to find out, I said, if this is true, I don't fuck with that. But come to find out, he may have not been at a fucking interview. And he put Antonio Brown in a bad position because Antonio Brown raised $80,000 for him to get a job and take care of his family. I didn't jump out there hardcore, but I spoke about it. And I was like, yo, if the police did that, that's fucked up. Now, mind you, they gave him a misdemeanor, but I think that the police could have handled that a little bit better. But that doesn't justify him leaving his children and he lied about being in an interview. Context matters. So I'm the first to jump out there to go, as new information has been presented, my perspective on this has changed a bit, and here's how and why it has changed. They do not make the corrections. They say this bullshit race-based shit while pretending that it's not about race, conveniently cherry-picking when they want to make it about race. And then when more of the facts come out that their race-based thing, or maybe Carmelo Anthony wasn't 1,000% the victim, still acknowledging that he should not have stabbed this young man in the chest. But they don't want to acknowledge that, oh shit, those people start to look like that they speak for you. Those people are making it more difficult for you to get more people that want to leave the Democrat plantation off of that plantation. You understand? That's why it's important for us to separate. If you are a solutionary, you are evolved, more understanding, more perspective, contextual, objective, balanced, and fair point of view thinking person than the newbie that just came from the Democrats into the Republican situation. So your level of punditry that you associate with has to become more refined. And I want to continue to being more of that refined thought process that more and more people need. That's what I want to continue to serve you all as. And I'm going to. But the first thing that we all have to collectively do is disassociate from the engagement. We are feeding them with the Elon books. Block it. Screenshot it. Blurt their name out. Talk about how it's wrong, but do it on your platforms. Tag me in it so I can repost you. But you got to tie it into a solution. Got to tie it into a solution. Now, look. Here go one of them right here. It was still funny that Ahmaud Arbery was known as the jogger before because he would pretend to be jogging before stealing from convenience stores. That's not true. That has been debunked. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But again, this Fazimo person jumped up, never heard of him before, tapped in, wants to be seen, and is wrong. And that still has absolutely nothing to do with what I just said. In that case, this singular case, does Ahmaud Arbery's death, is it justified? Yes or no? The level of insane reach that these people go to try to justify why, oh, maybe it is okay that he was murdered. That's tap dance goofy shit. And there's a lot of pundits on the right that pander to low IQ bigotry of that scenario for those people to just get the Elon bucks. Because when the facts come out, oh, wait a minute, y'all followed him? Oh, wait a minute, the footage came out, he didn't steal anything? Oh, wait a minute, he was running away from y'all? Y'all chased him? Then y'all cornered him? Then you shot him? Goodbye, go to jail. Then they want to defend that. French Coco with the $20 super chat, appreciate you. Keep exposing all of them. Listen, I'm just telling y'all what's real and true out here. That's all. Not participating in their division will shut it off. Thank you for that super chat, Terry. Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. We got the blueprint. We got the blueprint. We got the blueprint. We have to apply it and highlight the people that are giving nuanced perspective. The future is balance. The future is objectivity. The future is nuance. This dismissive is one or the other mentality is very dismissive and reductive and not is less intelligent. If I just reduce it to the data says that most white men convicted of pedophilia, most people convicted of pedophilia are white men. So that in turn, causation, correlation. Now, oh, all of a sudden, I can't trust any white man if I'm around them and my daughter. Most mass shooters in America are white. That is a reductive, unlogical scenario. This argument that, oh, you're going to create a vacuum around yourself. No, we apply context to the situation situationally and go, no, that black dude was wrong there. I think Carmelo Anthony should have not stabbed him. I would prefer that. But if the more context comes out, and if as the earlier eyewitness context is you attacked him, you started the violent initiation, Austin. That is not defending the killer. That is looking at the entire sequence of events. Some people will call that, oh, you riding the fence. You trying to not give him accountability. No, I'm looking at what happens. And when you look at things from a court perspective, what are the sum total of circumstances? What's the sum total? And if that sum total says, nah, you started that, bro. We got to hold your hand on that part. And if stand your ground state law says if you physically attack somebody, because contrary to what some of these ignorant people don't understand is, you can die from getting bludgeoned to death with hands and feet. People die from that every single year. It does not have to be a actual weapon. You can defend yourself from physical attacks with a knife. That does not mean that I'm not going to say, damn, I wish them young men would have both walked away. That's nuance. And then lastly, we got to deal with this harsh reality. This harsh reality. Listen to this, 30 seconds.
It's very unfortunate that this other child decided to make a bad choice that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. I have compassion for every human being. This is not, I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know, they weren't there. It's very unfortunate.
Solutionaries, the person that one of the people, because his mom and family members, I don't want to take any loss from any of them. This father is saying, do not use my child for your political agenda. The basic level of respect that we can have for the deceased and his family is to respect that while calling out the contradictions of the people that will not respect that. They are disrespecting this father's wishes to line their pockets using race as the bait. That is not solutionary. That is not who we are. That's not who Americans actually are. And that's not what we should be aspiring to go towards. My name is Maj Toure, everybody. Thank you all for tapping in tonight. If you got some value and some talking points, I want you to do a few things. Please, guys, support the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. All of our classes on conflict resolution, on de-escalation, okay? On all of these things, personal protection. All of these things happen for free because of your voluntary support. We are $3,000 away from, we got 2 benchmarks left to buy our building so we can consistently make this type of content. We can consistently have these classes. You guys can consistently use the space to teach for free. 2 benchmarks left. Somebody put, Bookworm, put that in chat, please. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. We need 30 people to donate at the $100 level. There's 895 of you watching the space tonight. If you're watching it on X, it's my pinned post. That video up there is the link. If you're watching now, wherever, it's now up on the actual screen and it's in the comment section if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Hit the link. Hit the link. Support the work. We need to teach more young men about de-escalation, avoidance, control, self-control, emotional regulation, balance, objectivity, a respect for human life. We need to highlight conversations and voices that are based on solutions, because if not, we are leaving new open minds that are leaving leftist agendas to people that are 1000% tapping in with this very divisive, very race-based perspective, and it does not help us as a community of humans or Americans in general. So I'm going to ask you all to share the space all over the place. And I'm also going to ask you all to donate. We need 30 donors at the $100 level to hit our next to last benchmark to off to the races. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all for tapping in and having such a passionate discussion tonight. I appreciate you all. Share it all over the place. I will see you all Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Same solutionary time, same solutionary channel. Be safe. Be solutionary.